Hey guys, welcome back to the Digital Nomad Family Podcast. I am your host, Marissa, and if this is your first time listening to this podcast, I want to say thank you so much. We are very glad that you're here. I don't know why I say we, because it's literally just me with a microphone. So anytime I say we, I guess I'm just talking about the collective we, but I am very glad that you're here and that you're listening. This podcast is all for and about being a full-time traveling family. And we are in part 2 of a 4-part series for traveling families, as everything here is, and it's all about leading our families well. So the last episode that came out was all about leading our families well in regards to our mental health. This episode is all about physical health. And I learned a lot from this interview, and I am excited for you guys to listen to it as well and learn from it and absorb stuff. And I really want you guys to then use it in your everyday life. So to help us do that, I have created a goal setting guide. It helps you walk through the things that we've learned in last week's, or not last week's, but in the last episode, in this episode, and in the next episode that is also about leading our families well. And so if you are interested in using the stuff that we talk about here in a very practical, hands-on way with your family, I would love for you to jump down into the show notes and get that goal setting guide. Because what I would love to see happen is for us to, as traveling families, to not just travel the world together as families, but to be very intentional in our families. And however that looks for you, I think is fine. I never want to tell people how to parent or how to travel or how to be a family. I really just want this to be a space that encourages people to think about, am I being intentional in my parenting, in my traveling, in my relationships, in my life? Am I being intentional? And that's why setting goals can be such a great thing, but it can also be very overwhelming to set goals. So hence this guide. So pop down into the show notes and you can sign up to get it. And I really think that it's going to be helpful. The way it's created is it helps families with kids to talk about setting goals. And then you can set goals either as an entire family, which I think is really cool, or you can create and set goals individually and then encourage each other, hold each other accountable to those. And I think that's a really cool thing too. So jump down into the show notes and get that. Before we get into this interview, I want to say a huge, huge thank you to a listener that left a really cool review over on iTunes. And I'm just going to read it to you guys. It's from a listener named Andrea. And this is what she says. As a full-time traveling family with no shortage of parenting ups and downs from life on the road, we have loved discovering this podcast. Marissa really pulls you in with her conversational, engaging hosting style, and the guests she has on are fascinating and insightful. Covering a range of topics, this podcast is a great listen for any family who is already on or who is considering longer-term travel with their kids. Andrea, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love hearing what you guys think about the show. And if you haven't heard me say it, I'm going to say it again. Please leave an honest review when you go over and leave a review, because it helps me know if there's something that I need to tweak, I need to work on. And I mean, it's just me here with the microphone, like I said. So I want to make sure that I'm talking about things that you guys care about, that you're going to get something out of. So if you leave a review, I will probably read it on the show, and it doesn't have to be 5 stars. Andrea's happened to be 5 stars. Thank you very much for that. I really appreciate it. But if there's something that you think, hey, Marissa, work on this, so I'm going to only leave you 4, I'm okay with that, and I want to hear that. But I also want to know if we're headed in the right direction with this show. So if you could jump over and leave a review, that would be great. Also, wherever you're listening to this on, if you could go ahead and subscribe, that would be great. Give us a follow, however your platform does it, because when we get things like reviews or followers or subscribers, it lets that platform know, hey, this is a good podcast. It's helpful. You should show this to other people. And then we get more listeners and we can help even more families. And I absolutely love that. So, okay, enough about that. Let's get into this interview. Again, this is all about physical health. So if you are like me and you are looking into the very near future, wanting to work on your physical health, hold on tight because you are going to get some very great information from our guest. I don't want to say, you saw, in the show notes who she is, but it's so good. So get ready for some great information. Jump down to the show notes and make sure that you follow her over at her website and on Instagram and everything like that. Lindsay is amazingly smart and just very kind. And I really like that in someone when we talk about our physical health, because it can come off as harsh if you're not kind. And she's just so kind. So get ready. And I hope that you guys enjoy it. And like I said, if you go over and leave a review, please just leave an honest one. Let me know what you think. And also, make sure you sign up to get the goal setting guide. I really think it's going to be helpful. So, okay, without any further ado, here is Lindsay. Hey there, and welcome to the Digital Nomad Family Podcast. This is the place where families who have or want to have a nomadic lifestyle come together to talk about the highs and lows that this life brings. We celebrate the joys and support each other in the hard. So, if you are a digital nomad family, or will be in the future, this is the place for you. We're glad you're here. Hey everyone, welcome back to Digital Nomad Family Podcast. I cannot wait for this conversation because if you don't know this about me, I really like to not make my health a priority, which means I'm not the best at leading my family well in this area. So this is going to be an eye-opening conversation for me and very helpful. And I think those make the best interviews. So let's just jump right into it. Today, we get the honor and the privilege and the wonderful everything of talking to a wonderful woman named Lindsay Baumgren. She has a company called Nourish Move Love. Maybe you've seen her on YouTube. She's kind of a rock star. And we're just going to talk about leading our family and our physical health well. Before we start talking to her, I want you guys to just know a few pretty cool things about her. One, this is a family podcast, and Lindsay knows all about being a mom because she has, hold on to your hats, 3 kids under 5. Whoa, that's amazing. Currently, not only is she running a business, being a mom, being a wife, sadly, she's recovering from a torn meniscus. So hopefully that gets healed up and she can be running around with those little ones like crazy very, very soon. Because sitting on the couch while for one day is kind of fun, it's pretty boring after 3. And as this is a travel podcast, Lindsay is no stranger to traveling. She actually ran a marathon in Haiti and it helped raise funds for clean water. So she's already a winner in every single category of life. So everyone, I hope that you feel the love that she's going to bring. Lindsay, thank you so much for spending some time with us today. We're so excited to have you.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. You're so kind. Thank you for the kind words.
Of course, it's all true. That's the cool thing, I think, when you just tell the truth about people, you see how cool every person is. Wow. So I have a question about the marathon you ran in Haiti.
Yeah.
When did you run this? What month? Not year, but what month?
Yeah. Was it October or November of 20? Oh, let's see. I had my daughter in 2019. I wanted to be pregnant with her, but they had asked me, they're like, will you come run this marathon in Haiti to raise money? And I was like, I'm going to be pregnant. No, And I wasn't pregnant. And then since I wasn't pregnant, I just felt this nudge to like go. So I was like, well, I guess I'm not pregnant. So last minute, I decided to like jump on the bandwagon and go. I had run like a max of like 9 miles before I went.
Oh my gosh.
But I'm really glad I did. So let's see. I had my daughter in 2019. So I got pregnant with her in like January 2019. So it would have been 2018. So like October, November, it was in the fall of 2018.
Okay. So it wasn't like crazy hot, but it wasn't cool either. Wow.
No, it was pretty nice, beautiful temperatures. But like I was expecting, like you run a marathon here. I've run marathons here in the US and 26.2 miles. And it's just like, so yeah, you got hills in there and stuff, but you're pretty much like on tar roads or sidewalks or whatnot. And it takes you anywhere 4 or 5, maybe 6 hours to complete a marathon. I don't know. I completed my ones here in like, under 4 hours or 4 hours and 30 minutes or so. And then I go to Haiti and I'm like, okay, so we're going to do this for like 4 hours. We're going to run. We get there and we were running and it was actually really cool because there are points where we were running and they're like, maybe like 100 people have ever walked here because it was just like such remote areas of Haiti that we got to run in. Cause we were actually running to like villages that didn't have water.
Okay.
And so we ran through like the most remote areas of Haiti, and we had these like 2 trucks kind of trailing us and both trucks like blew tires. I mean, it was crazy because we were like, so we actually ran like 5 miles in the wrong direction and had to get back. So we ran over 26 miles, but it took us like 9 hours to complete. It was up crazy mountains. And I mean, we were like swimming through rivers to get across to the next path. So it was like a wild experience. Definitely probably in my top 3 most awesome life experiences ever though.
Wow. Oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah,
Does it make you want to run another marathon in another country or say, I'm never doing that again? Like, because I could go either way.
For sure would love to do it again. It was like the coolest experience ever. I think, and I'll say this because you guys have, this audience is all travel, right? So it's all about travel. Yes. I would say my like kind of motto when I travel, I think the coolest way to explore a city is to train it. And so I think like, if I'm like in a new place, I'm not going to, hotel gyms, whatever, they can be great. Or if you're traveling, you can do it in your like Airbnb. But if you're like in a new place, go run and like find a park and like find a bench. And I think the best way to explore a city is to train it. So I love like being out in the places that I'm at. And so, whether it's running, walking, finding some hills to sprint, finding sand dunes, if you're like in a place that has sand dunes or something like that. So,
oh man, that right there could just be like a conversation we could have like in all of these cities that I've been in. I'm like, oh, wow, this could be a great opportunity to train this way in this city, or because some cities are really, really flat. Some cities are really hilly. So they all have their own challenges. And wow, yeah, that could be an interesting, people never once did it like cross my mind to use the city I'm in or like to use exercise as a way to deepen my appreciation for the city I'm in. So what, we're a whole 37 seconds in and Lindsay's already dropping some knowledge bombs, which like, it just kills me. So Lindsay, you are very smart and very educated and very trained when it comes to physical health. When we talk about how to exercise, why we should exercise, eating correctly, why, you have all the head knowledge. So I'm just going to ask you to level with us. Is it important? Like, is physical health and eating correctly really important? And especially, should we care about being a good leader of our family's physical health? Like, does it matter? I know that this sounds silly, but
no, for sure. I think it just, for me, I think for sure, 100% it does. It translates into how you feel, right? Like what you consume fuels your body. And so it translates, I think, into how you feel, and the energy you can, output is based on what you input. So yes, I do think it's very important. I think a lot of people get it twisted and think like it's very fitness focused. Honestly, I think about 80% of how you look and feel is related to your nutrition. About 10% of how you look and feel is related to your physical activity or movement. And then another 10% is related to genetics, right? Like we all have some type of degree of what we're given and what we're born with too. So if you were to break it down for like the average able-bodied person, I would say that's kind of where it would fall. So really nutrition is very important. Movement, I think, is also important, but I think nutrition is really important, especially with your family. And it's the little things that translate into how you feel. I always think it's so funny because kids are like so humbling, right? And they really break it down for you. And like, so like my son's an example. He like lives and dies for treats. Like I could get him to do anything for a cupcake. He lives and dies for treats. And so that's great. And we like, you know, we don't limit treats necessarily in our house. I believe in everything in moderation, but I can explain to him when he wants to continuously consume sweets or treats, like, and then like, buddy, that's why your tummy hurts the next day. Or that's why you know, he'll be like, you know, this is probably TMI. Mom, I have, you know, like when he's in the bathroom, he's like, Mom, you got to come in here and help. Like, you know, and I'm like, buddy, you have this your tummy hurts because of what you had. And so now he's 5, so he can start to compute that. So he'll start to ask me like, is this good for my body or bad? Is there a lot of sugar in this or not a lot of sugar? And just those little things to start to have those conversations at a young age, like it makes you just more aware. But I always think of like what you're putting, like think of your feelings on a plate every time you sit down. I'm not saying don't have things that, you know, you enjoy. I think food and travel go hand in hand, right? And like, you're supposed to enjoy them, but it's always like feelings on a plate. Like after I eat this, am I going to want to move my body? Am I going to feel good? Am I going to feel like, you know, I want to go, is waking up and having a donut going to fuel me and make me want to go to the park with my kids later? Or is it going to make me like sluggish and sleepy?
Oh, that right there, that hit a place in my heart, like in a good way, you know? Because I think I don't connect the food I eat to the type of relationships I'm going to be able to have with people. And that's like, oh, that's deep.
Yeah, so it's just a good way. It's a good way to think of it. You know, like if we're celebrating someone's birthday and whatever, we're having pizza and cupcakes, like awesome, like let's celebrate. But at the same time, I'm just like, I'm constantly thinking like, oh, if I, you know, is this going to make me want to go run around in the yard with my kids later? Or am I going to be like, let's turn on a movie, guys, mom's tired?
Yeah. And so I'm just, this is why I have people on that are smarter than me and better than me in these things. Cause I'm like connecting these dots in my head between, okay, if I want to have, I don't want to say like better relation. Like I don't know, but if I want to have the best type of relationship with my kids, as far as like looking back and being like, oh, I did do things with them. I did interact with them. We didn't just sit down and play video games or watch movies all the time. Like there's nothing wrong. Right. Like you said, all things in moderation. But if I want to look back and have moments of like activity with them, then I need to focus on the food I'm putting into my body, because that's going to give me the not like the motivation, but like the correct energy and the correct fuel to be able to then go and do the park thing. Yeah. So, okay. I'm not like, you guys, you're going to be listening to this and going, Marissa, you're talking like this to sound cool or like to sound smart or something for the podcast. Guys, everything I'm saying here is 100% just me. Like, I am so not a good leader when it comes to my family's physical health. And that right there is a very convicting thought. Because my kids are now like to the age where basically they're kind of choosing what they want. Like my oldest is 15. They went to the store today and they bought their stuff for their lunch. And my 12-year-old, she ate 2 packets of ramen noodle. That's what she had for her lunch today. And I was okay with it. 100%, no question, no anything. But now I'm sitting here going, is that going to give her the energy? Is that going to give her the proper fuel to lead the life that she's going to want to lead, or that the life that I think is going to be best for her even? So trying to just connect all these dots is a little convicting already on question 1. In a good way. Way.
I mean, it's right. None of it's meant to make you like feel guilty about your current life. You know, it's
right.
For me, I've just always wanted to be the mom who, and you know, me and my husband, always like just the mom who was in the pool, the mom who was like doing the life experiences alongside my kids. I just think Like, it's so fun to do life with them. And, it's just, like the simple thing of going to the park, like they just get so much joy in that and playing Lava Monster or doing whatever it is. And it's like, that's a great way for me too. I don't, people are like, oh, you must work out all the time. This is what you do for a living. And it's like, actually, a lot of my job is sitting behind a computer because my business is like monetized off search engine optimization and, digital content creation. So I'm not working out all the time, actually. My computer. But yes, I do probably have more motivation to work out than most because I do love it. It's part of my job. But that said, like, I'm also a mom who's got 3 little kids. It's not like I got limited amounts of time to work out here. And so if I miss a workout, whatever, no sweat, then I just make an intent to be overly active with my kids that day. So I'm like, all right, Mom's Lava Monster at the park. Let's go. We're climbing, we're running, it's like, and just being intentional about getting my steps in or just moving with my kids, whether it's like going for a bike ride or going to the park or trying to find ways to be more active with them, raking leaves, jumping in leaf piles, whatever it is.
Yeah, no, that makes total sense. And I think when I think about being a family that travels the world, there are so many times that this lifestyle, a huge benefit of it is it does force us to have those moments as a family that I didn't have when I lived like in a house in America. Because it's like, hey, today we're sightseeing this place. Today we're going here. Yeah. Today we're doing this stuff. And so a benefit of this lifestyle is I do get those moments with my kids that maybe I didn't have as often in America, or I had them, but I didn't take advantage of them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
But I still need to have the energy to actually like do that. Does that make I still have to have the energy and to like the pull in that direction to want to go and do the sightseeing things. Or if there's like a lazy day where we like do get to be here at the house to be like, hey, I am gonna go to the park with my kids, or let's go on a walk or something like that. Like to capitalize on that, on this time with them. And I think it can be easy as a mom and as a dad, but since we're moms here, it can be easy to kind of overlook that and to just kind of skip it. Like to go, well, I'm tired, or I don't feel like it, or I'll do it later, or I'll do it tomorrow. And then the next thing you know, your baby is 10 years old. And it's like, that's just how life works. And I feel like one of the things that when I was, talking to you is thinking about some of the benefits of leading our family's physical health well. And I think right there is a big one. This idea of if we lead our family's physical health well, then we can be more present and we get to experience more things with them.
Yeah.
So would you say that that's true? That's a...
Yeah, I definitely think so. I mean, I know that for me, fitness definitely makes me personally like a better mom, a better wife. It just makes me a better person because I just thrive on like getting a little bit of that, like it's my me time kind of. And then like once I have that, like I feel more capable and I'm so much, it makes me physically stronger, but I think it also makes me a lot mentally stronger. I'm a lot more patient with my children. I'm a lot more willing to deal with like the temper tantrums or whatever. If I've had some time to like get those endorphins in my own body and move and, so it allows me to be a lot more present and a lot more patient with my children.
Yeah. Well, and this idea of me time, when you are a nomadic family, that's a luxury because we don't have most nomadic, not all, but a lot of nomadic families don't have cars and that kind of stuff. So they're not just like driving. We're not creating like the deep friendships in each country, in each city, like we have in our passport country. So like this idea of me time, like I'm going to go have a girls' night. I don't have that here in Peru. Like in America, here in Peru, I don't have that. And so me time, it does need to look different. And so I know for like, there's definitely been times for me, I'm like, I just need to go on a walk. And I didn't do it for the health benefits. I did it for the mental health benefits. But a side benefit is the fact that I'm moving my body. And so I think maybe if I could be more intentional about that, like focusing on me and saying, you know, I'm going to give myself just 30 minutes, which people go to Lindsay's YouTube. There are so many amazing 30-minute workouts. Full disclosure, I've only done 2 of them. I have watched a lot. I just don't. I'm literally that person. Like Lindsay is exercising on my computer screen, people, but I'm not. Like I'm like sitting there drinking my coffee, and I'm like, I could do that, but I don't. See, I got to get a kick in the pants here. I need to move my body. But I think if I use it as a me time thing, because I think, and I'm sure you can speak into this, a lot of people see physically moving your body and like, you know, this exercise, if you want to even put it in quotes, as a punishment.
For sure. A lot of people see it as something I have to do because of like what I ate or something I have to do to look a certain way. And that's going to fail all the time because your motivation's just not in the right place, right? So I always say progress goals are going to get you so much farther than aesthetic goals. So aesthetic goals are, I'm doing this because I want to look a certain way, right? So an aesthetic goal would be, I want to, you know, look this way. I want to lose 10 pounds. I want to fit in these pants, whatever that aesthetic goal might be. But if you set a progress goal, you know, if you're traveling, maybe it's like, I want to surf, or I want to, you know, like I want to surf, or I want to be able to run 3 miles so I can explore the city in the morning by myself. I want to be able to, you know, maybe you're training for something, a race or something too. Maybe you're going somewhere to run a 10K or a marathon. Whatever that looks like, a progress goal for me right now, a progress goal I have is I want to do 10 pull-ups unassisted, right? Like it just makes me feel really strong. And I want to do 10 pull-ups unassisted. And so that goal is going to keep me showing up every day more than fitting in my pants is going to keep me showing up every day, or looking a certain way is going to keep me showing up every day. If you can have a progress goal, you know, like if whatever that is, something you're working towards, maybe you want to do 2 push-ups from your toes, something that makes you feel strong and empowered, and your kids can look at you and be like, wow, mom's cool. Whatever that is, I think that progress goal is going to keep you coming back a lot more than the aesthetic goal is.
I love that. I wrote that down here. Progress goal. Like that I never thought about it that way. Cause I agree. I think for me, I think that would be more motivating because I'm doing it because I want to see myself succeed, not because I feel like I need to fit into this expectation that I or society is putting on me.
Right.
So that's
if you can align yourself with something that you're working towards, that's a progress goal. It's going to give you a lot more motivation to keep you coming back, I think, than any aesthetic goal ever will. That's been my personal experience. Every time I set something I want to achieve, you know, postpartum, it was I wanted to do push-ups from my toes again, and now I want to do pull-ups. Or you want to, you know, lift weights. You want to run. You want to do something. You want to surf. That's also a goal I have. Some days I want to surf. So things that you can work towards.
Yeah, I like that a lot. And I think that kind of, I think that helps me when I think about leading my family well in physical health. Mm-hmm. I just kind of had a light bulb moment. That's something that my kids can do as well. I don't know about you, but you know, as my kids, especially my girls, have gotten older, I worry about their relationship with their bodies because sadly, our culture says that women are supposed to look a certain way. And I tell them all the time, you just need to be healthy, right? Like, I feel like that's what every parent says. Like, I just want you to be healthy. I just want you to be healthy. And then I let my daughter eat 2 packets of ramen at lunch. So I do want her to be healthy. I just don't really know how to do it yet. But I seriously do. I just want them to be healthy. And so I've never really, I've been scared. If I'm just going to be vulnerable, I've been scared to like encourage my kids to like focus on healthy eating and exercise because I don't want to unintentionally send a message to my girls, especially because they're 12 and 14 now, that they have to be these like skinny, like
only eat lettuce type people.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And for us, like, I totally feel that my daughter's, still young, but, I will say, like, it melts my heart when she will see me working out, or she'll say something, and I always relate it to, like, mommy wants to be strong so I can do this, and I'll like pick her up, or, like, and then she'll be like, wow, like I was carrying, grocery bags up and she's like, mommy, you're so strong, and it's like that is like the relationship that I want them to, really correlate. And I know, same with my son's ask, like, oh, why do you work out, or what are you doing? Or I'll be like, hey buddy, we're going to go, you're going to bike and mommy's going to run to the park. And they'll be like, why do we have to do that? And I'm like, because mommy's my family has a history of heart problems. And so my mom went into cardiac arrest, and they know grandma's got heart issues, and my brother. And so, like, just having that, like, this is what keeps mommy's heart healthy. If I run, that keeps mommy's heart healthy. It's strength training for my heart. And so then I won't be in the hospital like grandma was. And so just like having those open, fluid conversations, and then he'll be like, I'm making my heart stronger by doing this, or, just like having those really, instead of tying it back to that appearance, it's like really giving them, that's truth. I'm speaking truth. Like, this is like, I'm running because it's going to keep mommy's heart healthy, and we have a history of heart problems. And then explaining that to them, and making those ties. Cause he's like, well, I don't want mommy to be in the hospital, and so.
Yeah, exactly. As we're recording this, just 3, maybe 4 weeks ago, my dad had a mild heart attack, and he's in his early 60s. He's fine. He's going to be fine. Good. Everything's fine. But yeah, like I got the phone call, hey, this has happened. He's going to be fine. But, it was kind of like a wake up call to me. Now, in my genetics defense, the doctors did sadly say it was a lot of his lifestyle. So like, I don't necessarily know if I can say that heart issues run in the family now, because I'm not sure if it was a genetics thing or just his body type thing.
Yeah.
But it was like, hey, I need to be serious about my physical health. I gotta take it seriously, because I don't want to leave this earth before, like, I don't want to leave early. Like, I want as much time to, 1, be with my family, and 2, see as much of this world as I can. Like, I want to get as many stamps in that passport as possible. So I'm not checking out early. So I like this idea of maybe like talking about progress goals, especially if we have older kids.
Yeah.
I think that could be a really powerful tool for them. Because it's so hard, I think. It's hard for me to like stay motivated, to eat right, to exercise when I'm just doing it to fit in a pair of pants. Like, it is, because I love ice cream. Like, I love ice cream more than I love fitting in my skinny jeans. Like, if I had to pick, I would pick ice cream and sweatpants every time. Like, I just would. And so it's not very motivational to say, oh, I shouldn't eat, as much ice cream as I do, so that I can be healthy. But if I think like, oh, you know what, I had this goal that I created, like, in my heart for myself to be able to do this thing, is this going to help me reach that goal that I really want to hit? Like, I really want to fill in the blank.
Yeah.
Do I want that more than I want ice cream? And then I think I would question it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
And I think
the progress goal is really,
to
have something you're working towards.
And I think, especially like as our kids are older here, they can kind of do the same thing. They can think, what are some progress goals that I want to have for myself? So like, my 15-year-old son can do this. My 14-year-old daughter, even my 10-year-old son, like, he understands what it means to say, oh, I want to be able to do, I don't know, X amount of push-ups or whatever, or his thing. So my
or skateboard, or like, whatever it is.
Yeah.
If they want to skateboard, or they want to,
Yeah. My 10-year-old son actually has a goal right now. He is the most unflexible person you will ever meet in your life. And I'm not talking like go with the flow flexible. I mean, like, physically flexible, like zero flexibility. At his 9-year-old, like, well check, when they have to like bend over to touch their toes to make sure their spine is straight. He like was nowhere near his toes. And his pediatrician, I love their pediatrician. She goes, touch your toes, Ryan. He goes, yeah, I don't do that. I can't do that. And she started to laugh and she's like, no, seriously, touch your toes. And he stands up and he goes, no, seriously, I can't do that. And he can't, like, he cannot touch his toes. Like, he is that unflexible. He can't touch his toes. So he has a goal right now that he wants to be able to touch his toes.
Right. And that's great. That's like an awesome, mobility is really awesome. That's, yeah. I mean, that's like where my husband and I are constantly having challenges. Like, can you do this? Can you do this? And, you know, but yeah. I mean, it translates over into all areas of life. Like, we're working, my son's in kindergarten, we're working on handwriting, and he's so frustrated and he doesn't like doing it. And we'll be like, yeah, but buddy, don't you want to be able to, like, you know, like he'll ask me, he's really into like Pokemon cards and like what, and I'm like, don't you want to be able to read? Because you keep asking me these, whatever their names are and how much damage they can do. I don't even know what Pokemon is. I don't, honestly, but my son loves it. So whatever. And I'm like, if you want to be able to read those cards, you got to learn how to write this first, and like making that connection for him.
Yep.
And then being like, but you got to practice, right? Like, daddy doesn't just show up and play volleyball. He practices volleyball. Mommy doesn't just show up and do, like, you got to keep doing it. You got to keep practicing. Then he starts to make that correlation. And then he's like, okay, so if I keep writing my letters, then I'll be able to read my Pokemon cards. I mean, it can apply to all things, right? Like,
yeah, that's great. That is, oh my gosh. Can we just take a minute and appreciate all the moms who have to pretend to be interested in something for their children? That was me with Beyblade.
I don't even know what any of this stuff is. And I try to keep a very surface level, but I'm like, at first I was like, no, get these cards out of here. And then I'm like, wait, he's sitting there organizing them. It's been over an hour. You know what? The cards can stay. The cards can stay. I'm like cleaning the whole house now and I'm waiting for you to interrupt me, but you're still organizing your cards. So that's cool.
Oh yeah. Those definitely can stay. Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, we like know nothing about it. And they're like, oh, look at this. And it's like, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
I don't even know, but I'm glad you love it. But I don't know what that is. But oh man, that's such a mom move right there. Such a mom thing. So Lindsay, what would you say? I think if parents were to be honest, they would look at you and they would say, Lindsay, I understand that the physical health of me and my family is important. I'm not saying it's not. I know it is, but I don't prioritize it. I don't give it the place that it probably deserves. How could I get started? Or just what are a couple little tips for a family that they want to make it a priority? They understand it's important, but they're just feeling a little overwhelmed or lost by it. What are some things that you think, some places they could start at least? Yeah,
for sure. I think the first thing is like we're very like typically an all or nothing type of society, right? So it's like, I'm going all in. I'm either like, I'm going to become so buff. I'm going to work out every day, get up at 5 a.m. every day. And I'm going to make working out a priority. And this is what we're going to do. And you get like 1 weekend and you're like super sore. And then you're like, this is crap. I'm tired. I'm not seeing progress. Like, we're very much all or nothing. And then you throw in the towel, or like you miss a day and then you're like, oh, I missed a day. It's all downhill from here. And so I think it starts with setting very small, realistic, attainable goals, like with anything, right? Like if you wanted to become a nomadic family, you had to start probably saving money. You probably had to start like prioritizing minimalism, and you start, it's a slow thing, right? It's not like you just like all of a sudden are like, all right, tomorrow we get on a plane and we travel the world. Like that's not how it works, right? You got to set yourself up for success. And I think part of that is it's like starting small, like, okay, commit to maybe 3 days a week. And, maybe 2 of those are early mornings. If you can make it happen, one, you make it, like you got to have realistic expectations. You have to have get up early days or sleep in days. Maybe 3 days a week is overwhelming. Try 2 days a week. Like start with small, realistic, attainable goals. So 2 days a week or 3 days a week, you're going to commit to movement. It doesn't have to be 60 minutes, 10 minutes. I always tell people like, literally we think like it's got to be this like hour in the gym. Like 10 minutes is better than no minutes. If there's a Saturday and I'm like busy and I know it's not going to happen, I'm like, okay, great. You know what? I'm going to do 10 minutes of air squats while the pancakes are on the griddle. Like, just 10 minutes is better than 0 minutes. Okay. Yeah. So start small, start realistic, and like give yourself lots of grace, and don't let the snowball effect happen. If you miss one day, don't let it snowball into 2 or 3 or whatever, like just start small and attainable, I think is one. And for me too, having a plan. That's why we created workout plans. We started by just like filming all these workouts and putting them out there. And we're like, here you go, people. And everyone was like, I'm overwhelmed. What should I do? When should I do it? How many days do I do upper body? When do I do lower body? When do I do full body? And I was like, you know what? I can create a plan for you. That's why we create plans. And so we have tons of 2-week, we have 7-day, 2-week, 14-day, or 30-day, 4-week challenges. You can literally follow the plan. We give you the plan. All you do is you open it, you click on the workout of the day, and you do it. So all you have to do is press play. We take the thinking out of it for you. And so I think having a plan is also really helpful. It keeps you accountable. You have a plan. You have, a plan. So having a plan, we'll take the guesswork out for you. You can follow our plans. We have a complete body weight program. If you have access to nothing, it's called 0-30, zero equipment, 30 minutes a day. And it's 5 days a week, but you don't have to do the full 5 days a week. You could scale back to 3 days a week. We teach you how to do that too. So you can make it as much. The whole thing about these plans is like, they're just posted and they're live, and you can choose, you can do them whenever. You don't have to, you follow it when it works for you. So nice. I highly suggest having a plan. Having a plan, starting small, making it realistic and attainable is definitely a great place to start.
I love it. Now, your workout plans, I really, really like them a lot. I have spent a lot of time reading them, looking at them, not so much of the time doing them. I will do it. I promise. I will do one. I started the 0-30. I did 2 days.
Nice.
So I feel like that's a check.
Right.
And they're great guys. They are, you are so encouraging in the videos. Like, I just love how much like your support just comes out in them. And like, I love it when your moments like, I'm breathing hard too.
For sure. The fun, like I'm doing it alongside of you, and I'm not just like telling you what to do. Like, I'm actually taking you through it. All you got to do is show up and press play. The whole point is to make this content free and accessible to everybody, and to make it feel like you're in a group fitness class with me. Because I know that once I became a mom, it became a true luxury to like go to the gym or go to a group fitness class. And so the whole point is just to bring it to your home. All you got to do is press play. You get that same experience. You get someone talking to you, coaching you through the exercises, telling you how to do a squat, and you get that at home, and you just have to press play. So that's the whole point behind it. Yeah,
they are fantastic. And I think you can speak into this, but let's say I wanted to do them as a family. Would you say that the movements are appropriate for like a 10-year-old to do? Like, is a 10-year-old body able to do what you are doing in the videos? Does it make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. If we're using weights, they might need to use lighter weights, or you could totally do it with just your body weights. We have the coolest messages or the DMs I get, on Instagram or social media is when people send me like pictures of them doing it with their son or daughter. And I just think that's really cool, like to create those relationships too.
Yeah.
And just, it's really fun, especially during the COVID times when like schools were closed and they were like, this is my kid's gym class. Like, you got to work out with me. And so, it's great. They're good for everybody. It's, it's just good, solid movement.
Yes. And I think one of the things I really appreciate about your videos is, one, I can do them as a family, or I can capitalize on this idea of me time. I think I might start doing that though. But if I want to do them as a family, or if I want to just set my kids up to do your videos at a time that they feel like that they want to do it by themselves, I don't have to worry about you like cursing or anything like that. Like, guys, Lindsay's videos, like, there are just some workout people out there that it's very intense. They're cursing. And I'm like, I don't want my kids absorbing that.
So that when I set out to create my company, I really wanted to differentiate us in the sense of just being like clean and classy. And like, I try to wear, like not overly exposure of clothing, and try to just like, try to be modest in my clothing and keep it just really clean and encouraging. I'm not talking about like, you're doing this to build your butt or to get better butt. Like, I'm giving you more so like, hey, you're working the muscle that meets your butt. That's your hamstring that supports your back side of your body, that supports your low back. So right now, think about flexing as you stand up, you're driving your, like, I'm giving you, trying to make it educational versus aesthetic focus. So educational as well as keeping it just clean and classy, and like, there's no swearing, there's no, reference to like build your booty. It's just like, work hard, have fun.
I love that so much, because I have done some, I don't want to say names here, but a summer body company that has videos. I've done a lot of those, and I had to turn them off because the trainers were cursing so much and the girls were just not dressed modestly, that when my teenage son came in, I felt uncomfortable with my teenage son watching these girls do these like squats and stuff. And I'm like, nope, not happening. And with yours, it's so fun. It's just refreshing. Like, it's just, so thank you from a mom. This is like, so like, I feel like we took a turn here, and I apologize for that, but I just wanted you guys to know, and I wanted Lindsay to know from my mom heart to her, that I really appreciate the style of your videos. They're very safe for my teenage kids to do as well. And I really appreciate that. So
well, good. That's the goal, right? It's
thank
keep
you.
it clean. And I've always felt the same way when I've taken classes from instructors and they're like swearing during class. I'm like, that's just not necessary. Can we find a better word to use?
Yes.
Like, I just always felt like it. Yeah. I'm like, it's just not necessary. You can make alternative choices.
Yes. So, we'll end it here soon, but before we do, I wanted to give you a chance to talk about the new program that you guys are working on, and it's coming out very, very soon. I'm excited for you. I'm getting it settled in my spirit that I'm going to do it. So I need you to hear. I'm getting settled here, and I'm like, okay, I've been praying about it. And as my listeners know,
what's your progress goal? Set your progress goal. Like, is it, I want to do a push up from my toes? Is it, I just want to complete a full program?
I think for me, it's going to be a consistency. So something with that, because I am not a consistent person. And so I think I want to come up with I don't know if I want to try to do like a times a week thing, like 2 or 3 times a week. I'm like intentional about pushing play. Or I'm afraid to jump in and say every day, right? That seems like seems a lot for me. But I think I could do 2 or 3 days. So I'm really excited about this new program.
Good. Okay. So the new program was born out of me being in the season of life with 3 littles, ages 5 and under. I filmed it at about 5 months postpartum, and I was like, listen, I'm just in the thick of it. I need short, quick, and effective workouts. It's called Strong in 20. So it's all strength training, all low impact, no jumping, all strength training, 20 minutes a day, 5 days a week. Again, you can always scale that back. You can make it 2 days a week or 3 days a week. And you get a new workout video every day targeting specific parts of your body. So we go like legs and back, and we go all leg day. We have an arm day. We have a full body day. We have a core training day. And so you get all these new workouts, and they're 100% free, and it's 20 minutes a day, and they're just quick and effective. And so it's really truly called our functional strength training program, because functional strength training is meant to help you mimic the moves you do every day. So we push, we pull, we squat, we hinge, we lunge, we twist, we rotate, to do all these things to help you move better in your daily life, whether that's playing with your kids, taking up groceries, doing whatever it is. And so it's truly just meant to be a functional strength training program that helps you move better and easier and makes you feel stronger. So I'm really pumped about it. It's strength training. It's low impact. It's great for moms that are in this season of life, quick and effective workouts. I'm really pumped about it. I think it's an awesome program, and it's 20 minutes a day, and it's super attainable. And so
that's like and I'm saying this as someone that needs this program, because I have 20 minutes. I have 20 minutes. I do. Like, guess what I was doing just earlier today? I was playing on my phone, people.
Yeah.
I was playing on my phone. Right? I have 20 minutes a day. And I think that this one, because this has a body weight only option, right? So I don't have to have my 5 pound.
So it is with dumbbells, but you can do everything with your body weight. So you could absolutely use body weight, or you could add resistance bands if you wanted to, or even there's like some we do with like a towel or a glider, like you could add a towel on a hardwood floor or something like that. But you can always do everything. And there is a workout modifier in everything. So like I'll be showing an advanced option. There's a workout modifier showing a modified option. So there's definitely options for all fitness levels. It's very scalable. So, and if you don't have weights, you can always grab like laundry detergent jugs or soup cans from your kitchen, or filled water bottles are another great alternative.
Look at Lindsay just bringing the travel hacks right here. I like the idea of a water bottle.
Like filled water bottle.
All travel families have water bottles. It's like the number one thing we need. We need water bottles because single-use plastic sucks. Like we have to have water bottles. So
you fill up your Nalgene or fill up your big Hydro Flask, whatever you got. 32 ounces. That's awesome.
Yeah, I like it. So what would be the best way if someone's listening to this and they're like, you know what, I really, really want to look into this program? What would be the easiest way for them to find it?
Yeah, for sure. So you can go to our website, which is nourishmovelove.com. So nourishmovelove.com, and that's where you'll find us, and you'll find all of our links to like our Instagram, our YouTube. It's going to be on YouTube. It drops January 2nd is when we start. The program will launch actually in December. You'll get like the calendar, but the workouts start dropping. I think on Monday the 2nd it is. And so they'll drop on our YouTube channel. They'll drop on our Instagram. They'll drop on our website. So you can, our website's like the hub. If you want to, you can just, you go to the website, sign up for my email newsletter list. You get on our email newsletter list, then we just drop right in your inbox. So,
oh man, guys, there's a link to her website in the show notes. Definitely check it out. It's a beautiful website. It has so many useful things. There's even devotionals there. There's recipes. You just got it all over there. It's amazing. It's a true hub. It's great.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. So, well, Lindsay, I just want to say thank you so, so much. I think you've given us a lot of encouragement and a lot of really just practical advice. And I don't know if for anyone listening, but for me, you've really lifted like this idea of like mom guilt from me. Like I don't have to be this like perfect mom that has like this beautiful body, like that I had before I had kids. Like I'm not that young, early 20s, no kids woman anymore. I'm a mom now, and it's okay. Like you talked about in the videos, you don't tell us, well, you got to have a nice butt. Like, guess what? I have to be able to move. That's what I need to do.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. I'm in such a season. It's so funny because I'm like, I work out less now than I ever did. Like life is just busy and it's wild. Yeah. But it's just about feeling I want to be strong so I'm not here injured, right? Like I'm so excited to learn and recover this knee injury and learn about knee health and like learn how I can make my knees stronger. So like I never have to do this again. And I can't wait to get back running and playing with my kids.
Yes. Well, we will definitely be praying for you that happens.
Thank you.
Because I'm sure it's no fun at all. But I just want to say thank you so, so much. Guys, seriously, go to her website, Nourish, Move, Love. She's on all the platforms. Check it out. And Lindsay, thank you for being an amazing, just open book today about being the leader of our family's physical health. It's been very, very helpful.
Awesome. Thank you. It's very cool. And it's always fun for me to see when people are like, I'm doing your workouts in Peru or in Uganda or wherever they are. And I'm always like, this is so cool. People all over the world. Like,
yes.
I met a missionary from Afghanistan and she's like, I did your diastasis recti exercises to heal my abs after having my baby. She's like, I was in Afghanistan and no one was telling me what was wrong with my body. And I like Googled you and found it. And I was like, that's so cool. So it's always
That fun. Is awesome. So so let's say someone's doing one of your workouts. Well, answer this question, then we'll say goodbye. Yeah. If someone's doing your workout, if they like take a picture and like they pop over to Instagram, could they like tag you or like a hashtag or something?
Yeah.
Okay, give her a tag, guys.
You just tag us at Nourish Move Love. We always love to see you guys working out all over the world, usually in a much more beautiful, scenic location than I am.
Well, I'm currently in a desert, so I don't know. but yeah, guys, that would be fun. Go sign up for the new program, and then we're all start doing it together and be good, healthy leaders of our family. We can tag Lindsay over on Instagram, Nourish Move Love, so she can see all these beautiful places that we're bringing her exercise programs with us.
If you're working out on a beach, you better take a picture and send me so I can envision myself there with you while I'm sitting in snowy Minnesota.
Oh my goodness. We will. Well, Lindsay, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I know that this is going to help a lot of families. So thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
All right. Talk to you later.
Bye.